Hey, hello, and all that. Welcome, good stuff. We are here after our first day at pre-Cigarfest coverage. Today was, as we had mentioned in the other video, today was the Studio Tobacco event in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Right.
And we went out to see the Oliva crew, which was Oliva Ian, Dave, Chris, and Brian the Show Sholey. And what do you think of the event?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, it was nice. Got to see the vet, and got to see the.
Which looks much better in person, I think. You know, when I saw those pictures, I was thinking, really, all those decals on that vet, and it looked like a rolling billboard. But seeing it in person, they're not so in your face, and it looks.
Yeah, they're more subtle. It seems. Yeah.
So that was interesting because I was getting there expecting to see this this rolling billboard, and while it is a rolling billboard with a lot of logos, it looks much more tactful, I guess, in person.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it really. It just looks neat how it's done like that, and how it rolls over fenders and underneath the doors, on the bottom of the door panels there and everything. It flows together pretty nicely. Sorry, lighting my cigar. Now the trailer looks nice that they pull. I still have this thing about pulling a trailer with a vet. I just can't get over it. Sorry, my sports car days just doesn't allow me to get over that.
Well, I guess they can get away from that when they go to the Ford E250 cargo van.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
while they're doing sports cars, they're going to have to tow it with something. They did the same thing with the Mini Cooper.
Yeah, actually, right. I mean, like I said, it's just I used to have the sports cars and everything else, and that's just like sacrilege, to me. But it did look good. I mean, it really looked good. I'm still waiting for them to give me the keys to do a test drive. But and then we'll have that on Stogie review along with the police showing up, the accident, and everything else.
Well, an interesting little factoid about that car is it was recently repaired. I guess when they did the Studio Tobacco tour down in Texas, Dave was telling me that they parked it out back behind the hotel, and they parked it sideways across a bunch of spots so you couldn't possibly hit it. Well, apparently someone in a truck backed up and backed into it and dented up the fender. Well, apparently you can't order that paint from Chevy at the moment. So they hit eBay, and coincidentally they found the fender they needed painted in the right color in Pennsylvania, and they just happened to be in Pennsylvania when they needed to get it fixed. So it was recently fixed, and it looks good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I can't say enough about it. The seats and everything look really nice. And for the event, it was my first time at Atlantic Cigar. That's where the event was held. And almost like all of the shops that are online, I thought it'd be bigger.
That's what she said.
Yeah, yeah.
That little Jeffrey Jerry Dig in there.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey from Stogie Review will be joining.
They could be calling him Don.
Oh man, and yes, we have some Zaya. But yeah, I really thought the store would be larger than what it was, and the location was interesting. It was downtown. There was a lot of activity.
That's a college town.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of it. Somebody said there was, I guess, a concert down the street or something. But
yeah, one of the concert goers, this girl and her friend came up to bum a light and try to bum a cigarette off a group of cigar smokers, and apparently we weren't cool because we didn't know who was playing. But I did know one of the bands. It was Taking Back Sunday, I believe, and the second band she had mentioned I've never heard of, but drawing a lot of people, and and it was down the street a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising. Just even the older crowd that was out walking around, it was one of those in town type things. And we almost missed it, actually. Well, first off, I have to say, GPS units suck. I get off the wrong exit, okay, to go to this event. And so you go down, it says go to the next exit and get off. And then it's going like turn right, turn left. Well, it takes us back on the same damn highway. So it just takes us back the same way rather than bringing us, you know, like a back road or something to get there. So then we're sitting at a light and we're trying to figure out where.
And the GPS is like, you have arrived at your destination.
You are here.
Around. Where's this place at? It must be around the corner. Meanwhile, like, you know, hidden in plain sight, directly in front of us, is the Studio Tobacco Corvette. Dave, Ian, John from Oliva are all just standing out there hanging out, and it's like, duh.
Oh, that was great.
That was user error that time.
Yeah, that was fun, though.
But on the way back to the hotel, when I'm kind of like, hey, Mike, there's the hotel. And the GPS had us go 2 exits down further and then sort of backtrack on the side road. But
and then we got stuck at a train crossing for the longest train known to man. We had to wait for. Yeah, GPS units. Gotta love them.
You could tell we were the out-of-towners because we were the first car at the intersection, and there's a side street behind us, and you keep seeing all these cars turn down the side street. They go down the block, apparently go over an overpass, and you see them come back out on the other side of the tracks. Meanwhile, there must have been some other non-local behind us because we couldn't back around and go. So we ended up sitting there and waiting. As the car behind us keeps edging closer and closer, you know, like he's going to push us through a freight train. But
it was great. We saw the train. It was going, and all of a sudden, we're sitting there, and Walt's like,
"It stops.
Is it slowing down?" And then it just stops.
It stops. It rolls backwards for a couple of feet, and then it starts going again. And then it started moving much faster, so that was cool.
The adventures of pre-Cigarfest. I'm telling you. But
so have you ever met Brian Sholey before, or was that your first time? Or no, you know what? You met him last year.
Yes.
At Cigarfest. Same time I did. And that was the first time I had seen him actually at the rolling table, and I was kind of skeptical because Sam was a real people person, and I was kind of interested to see how that was going to work. Is he going to do, is he going to do this? Is he going to perform the same way Sam did in drawing the crowd? And I got to tell you, Brian was really, really impressive with what he was doing. They are no longer just putting wrappers on cigars. They have a small press set up beside the rolling table. They're bunching, they're pressing, they're applying binders, they're applying wrappers. Brian is making blends as he goes, and I found it just super interesting that they were going full blown with these rolling events. It's so much nicer than seeing Sam pull out a blank from a bag, pop the paper off, and go to town. While Brian did do that on some of the cigars, but the press was there with cigars in the press. I'm not sure how long they have to sit, whether it's an hour or a couple of hours, but I thought that was really cool, and I got a chance to smoke a special blend. Brian handed me this cigar, and he goes, "It's all Esteli Lajero fillers." He said, "Then I take the Cane F wrapper and use that as a binder, and then I use the Cane F wrapper again and apply it as a wrapper." And he said, "And I call it the Donkey Punch because it is wicked full body." And he says, "Here, I want you to smoke this. You like that powerful stuff." And I lit it up, and it was wet because he had just rolled it. Smoked, burned beautifully, and it was a punch in the face. And lots of flavor, really heavy, dense. And I was impressed. I actually tweeted him again later on that evening and asked him if I could get a 5-pack on order. So I'm gonna see if I can collect at Cigarfest on Saturday because that cigar really was impressive. Actually, I have another one that he rolled. Actually, when I was doing the recording of him actually rolling the cigars, he had finished rolling the cigar and he goes, "Here, this is for you." And he said something about this is something special. I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of interested in smoking it. It's definitely not the Donkey Punch. That was smaller and fatter, but I'm interested in smoking it.
Yeah, I went through a box of those Donkey Punch tonight, and Yeah, that's one I will not be trying. Thank you very much.
Well, they did pressure you into taking the V.
Yes.
Dave offered you the first time. No, no, no. And then they all called you a girl.
Yep,
and then
yeah.
you had to take it. You were peer pressure.
I didn't want to be the girly man. But, no, I mean, they're good. I like the Oliva V. And it's just, I was concerned mostly because we didn't eat anything yet. And on an empty stomach with it. But I did good. I didn't have any problems with it. I smoked it and liked it.
The Donkey Punch gave me a run for my money a little bit there. Didn't have dinner or anything. I started getting the telltale signs of like nicotine poisoning where I get a mild headache. And then, you know, if I don't get something to eat, you know, within an hour or something, that mild headache gets worse and then I start feeling nauseous. But, you know, I didn't get that mild headache until the cigar was down to a nub. So, you know, it smoked really well, but not something that I'd fire up first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But and then the funny story for that was, we were talking before about stopping at, you know, like the Irish pub or someplace right there to eat. So we'll just head back through to the resort here and spa. And so we start coming back through, and all of a sudden traffic stops. We go down to one lane. We're doing like 2 miles an hour down through traffic. I was just waiting for Walt to get out of the car and just go to like a giant food store that was over there just to grab something to eat. Yeah, it was a fun night though.
So, before that, we were hanging out with Jason, who is a fantastic host. And Jason, if you're watching this, thank you very much for the cigars and for the place to smoke. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to doing it again tomorrow.
Yes.
So we'll be
Tremendous
hanging out with Jason again for a little bit tomorrow. And I'll see if I can get some pictures of his collection. He's got an amazing collection of rare Fuente stuff. Opus and Ajos, Casa Fuente, God of Fire stuff. It's a really nice collection. It's done up well. It's in a display cabinet that he has recessed into the wall, and you know, with a big glass door, so you can see everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really nicely done. And then I love the bottle he has with the Opus X in it. I guess that was the original one. That was the only one they have ever done, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've only done the one Opus X in a bottle. They're coming out with a Scotch,
right?
Which is I'm assuming some sort of Opus X in a Scotch bottle.
Right.
In this case, it's Calvados, which I think is like apple brandy, and it's got an Opus X Forbidden X up inside the bottle. There's like a little cork underneath that seals it. It sort of makes the bottle a tubo.
Right.
And
yeah.
The cigar is stored up inside.
Yeah, that is really cool. If you've ever seen one, it's just neat looking to see it. Hey, it's not really. I guess it's nothing real fancy. You just make a glass bottle with, you know, and push the glass up in the center to put the cigar in, and just put a cap on the end. But still, it's just neat how the presentation is when they do it. It looks like it's suspended in there. I think it's cool. We can do one with Zaya.
No, it is very cool, and the liquid inside. I think it's Calvados. Is very good as well. I mean, it's. You expect it to be kind of gimmicky and not so great, but you know, the big selling point being the cigar. But the booze is really tasty. Me and Brian had a chance to try it when we were down in Las Vegas for IPCPR a few years ago, and Johnny, they call him Forbidden Johnny. I can't think of his last name, but you know, he was really generous with the samples. I think Brian and I had like 4 or 5 shots as we were standing around talking to him. Real nice, Johnny Soyak, and. He was a really nice guy.
I've never tried it, or really I've never even seen one at anybody's house or anywhere except at Jason's house. I mean that.
Well, from what I hear, if you go to Casa Fuente, you can get it for $60 a shot or $500 a bottle, and it's not a very big bottle. It's like half a fifth, 375 milliliters or whatever it is.
Nice. Hop in a plane tomorrow. But no, even the bottle, you know, with the Opus in it, I've never seen. I mean, I don't know how many. Do you know how many they made?
I have no idea. I know it was. I think it was limited.
Yeah.
Run.
But it's just kind of neat to see something like that. That's so it's just rare.
If you've ever been to Casa Fuente and you look at they have like a wall of all Opus X branded stuff. Johnny Soyak's wife apparently does the Opus X slippers, and like bedchamber slipper kind of a thing. You know, it's really highbrow. You know, I just couldn't see myself walking around a $300 pair of slippers, but you know, it's really cool stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't either. But other than that, I guess that's really about what we did today. I mean, we were at Jason's, and then we went to the Studio Tobacco and had our adventures, and
we just had a very late dinner.
Yeah.
On a little Zaya. I'm getting ready to import some photos and some video. Again, I'm not sure when all this will be up because of the intermittent connection.
Right.
And if you hear a mild buzzing sound, that is the setup I've got. We're actually, you may see, we've got lapel mics on. I bought a mini mixer, and we've got it set up, just a trial run, and I was getting a little bit of a buzz. Actually, it was a whole lot of buzz that I got down to a little buzz, but it was still kind of annoying. So we'll have to play this back, and if it's too annoying, let's just re-record it.
Let's do it again.
If not, you know, this is final product, and you know.
So if you see us say take 2 at the beginning, you'll know. Oh no, you won't, because you won't ever see this. Sorry.
All right, well, I think that about covers it. I don't want these little diary entry style videos getting too long.
Right.
But tomorrow is kind of up in the air, hanging out with Jason for a bit. And then there is the Man of War pre-event that we're going to.
Right. And
then after that, we may or may not go to whatever party is going on. I don't know whether it's True Estates or Rocky Patel that's doing a party down at Benchwarmers in the area. So we may or may not do that, depending on how we're feeling. Where the parking is horrendous down there, and last year the music was just so loud. I feel like I'm getting old. The music was just so loud, I had a headache, and I couldn't get far enough away from the speakers. But it was really loud last time.
Yeah,
but
it was hard. It was hard to talk to anybody. You know, when you go, you want to smoke a cigar, or have a drink or something, and talk to people. You know, especially with a lot of you guys out there who we don't get to see, throughout the year. We live apart or whatever, and just to be able to sit there and sit down and talk and smoke a cigar and everything would be nice. And the music, I think, just overdoes it when they have that there. It'd be nice as a background, but not the front runner.
All right, so there you have it. That is what's going on and what's on the agenda for tomorrow. And we will be back, and we'll do the little rundown tomorrow, the same thing.
Bye.